Sharks are back in an all-new season of Shark Tank, where hopeful entrepreneurs from across the country dream of a chance to secure an investment and gain powerful partners to start, grow, or save their businesses.
I decided to revolutionize the dessert industry. We can save lives and you can make money.
If the Sharks hear a great idea, they're ready to invest using their own money.
I'll give you $1 million.
And they'll fight each other for a piece of the action.
Listen to what he just said.
Kevin, why would they? It doesn't matter what you think. I couldn't care less. It's what they think.
But first, the entrepreneurs must convince a shark to invest the full amount they're asking for, or they'll walk away with nothing.
How can you come in here and say, I need to get clear on the numbers?
I thought I had a good basic understanding.
No, you
of
were
it.
terrible.
It's sink
All I see is problems.
or
We
swim.
had an order from a very high-ranking government official. How about President Obama?
Wow.
Who are the Sharks? They're self-made millionaire and billionaire investors who are entrepreneurs themselves. Kevin O'Leary is a venture capitalist who turned a $10,000 loan into a software business worth $4.2 billion. Barbara Corcoran went from working as a waitress in Manhattan to building the city's preeminent real estate empire. Damon John is a fashion mogul and branding expert who grew his homemade clothing line into the globally recognized fashion brand FUBU. Robert Herjavec, the son of an immigrant factory worker, is now a technology mogul who sold his first internet companies for over $350 million. And Mark Cuban, notorious billionaire entrepreneur and the outspoken owner of the Dallas Mavericks. First up is Carmen Lindner, selling a delicious new twist on an old camping favorite.
Hi, my name is Carmen Linder, and I'm the founder and CEO of Gotta Have S'more. I'm here seeking an investment of $75,000 in exchange for 25% equity in my company. Quick show of hands here. Who likes s'mores? Me too. But you know what I don't like? Camping. So I decided to set out and revolutionize the dessert industry. I want to introduce you to the Smuffin. The Smuffin is a s'more in the shape of a mini muffin, and I promise you have never seen or tasted anything quite like this before. You don't have to take my word for it, because you get to try some right now.
Barbara, I want you to remember something. A moment on the lips, a lifetime on the hips.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
They sure look yummy.
They are yummy. So the middle one is dark chocolate. There's one that's chocolate with caramel, and another half that is
Thank you.
milk chocolate.
Oh, that's a good one.
Carmen, it's got to be 1,000,000 calories.
It's not 1,000,000 calories. It's only 200 calories. But I'm not trying to market these as fat-free. And so now that you've tried your very first muffin, you know why my customers are constantly coming back saying, Carmen, I gotta have s'more.
Okay, Carmen, what are your sales?
My sales to date for 2.5 years are $250,000. And that's just within the local LA market.
What do you think you're going to do this year?
This year, my forecast is to do $165,000.
How do you sell them, Carmen?
75% of my customers come direct to me online or they phone in. That's been my primary focus over the first 2 years.
Do any stores carry them as well?
So there are a few stores that carry them, local specialty, bakeries, wine stores.
How much do you sell it for, and what does it cost you to make?
Costs me to make $9.34 a dozen. I charge $29.95 a dozen. We deliver throughout Los Angeles, and just recently I was able to launch the national shipping. These are the boxes that I ship them in.
You ship them frozen?
Ship them frozen, 5 pounds of dry ice with a cooler.
How much does that cost for shipping?
Shipping cost alone is $54,
Whoa.
which is
that's a
high,
lot.
but
Stop the madness, Carmen. Let's walk through this. You've got a dozen little schmuffins or s'mores in there, and I have to pay $60 to get them to my honey bunny in New York. All right? That is like $10 a s'more.
that's right in line with all my competitors.
Is there anything else out in the market comparable to this?
No, this is my baby. I trademarked the name Smuffin. I didn't want to just call it a s'more because honestly, it's so much more than a s'more.
It's a schmuffin.
It's a Smuffin.
I get it, but the cost is freaking me out. I'm just thinking...
What do you think is expensive?
It's $10 a schmuffer.
My target market, they're high-end customers. They're used to paying
But why
shipping,
argue
and
with you,
I'm
Carmen? You're doing it today. You're selling them.
Not
At that
that
price.
many. You haven't sold many schmuffers at
She
that
sells
price.
$165,000 a year.
Are you selling a lot of product that costs $60 a box? Come on.
Yes,
That's
$50.
crazy. Am I the only person who says that's insane? I mean, you FedEx this across the country,
You wouldn't
or you
believe-
send your children to college. You choose one. Like, think
You
about
wouldn't
that.
believe the frenzy that these things create. This is the next dessert craze.
All right, Carmen, I'm not going to invest in your schmickles. I'm out.
Sorry, Carmen.
What's your background?
I was an advertising sales executive. I was laid off during the recession. I got a severance package. My husband and I had always dreamed of starting a s'more store. And
I never met somebody who loves s'mores more than you.
when you say s'more, it brings back happy memories, and people automatically smile. I see this all the time at events. They're like, oh my gosh, these are unique. What is this, a cupcake? I'm like, oh no, it's better than a cupcake. It's a muffin. And then they taste it, and then they just fall over.
Then they order it and go bankrupt.
They come back. They come back and they order over and over. My biggest cost was investing in getting the national shipping down.
Why don't you just stay local then?
Yeah, like, why
all
I
your
don't
money.
want to stay local. I want everybody to be able to have these. I want
That's
muffins and
completely
Gotta
different,
Have
though.
S'more to be a national name.
That's a whole different thing than trying to make money. You have a huge market in Los Angeles, and you've got willing customers. Why focus on trying to solve a problem that's not really a problem?
This was one focus. I'm also now wanting to start focusing on wholesaling as well.
Carmen, you're so in love with your muffins, you can't see the dollars from the marshmallows. I'm out. Carmen, you put yourself in a position where you have to ask for $75,000 from us and give up 25% equity to fix a problem that isn't generating any sales. All I see is problems.
I see it as building my distribution.
This muffins were good. I'm out.
Your strategy is smuffin crazy. So, I'm out.
I like nothing more than a real s'more. But when I tasted this, it didn't taste anything really like it. So I'm going out just because I don't like the muffin. And I feel badly telling you that,
Okay,
okay? But good luck to you.
thank you. It was just weird that they didn't go bananas over them. It's almost like I was in the Twilight Zone because that's not the typical reaction.
How can there only be a dozen of them in that box?
Because it's full of ice. You're shipping water across the country.
In Season 3, Donnie McCall failed to get a deal with the Sharks for his folding cargo system, Invisirac.
I'm committed to making Invisirac in the United States.
Donnie, you
Yes, sir.
can't solve the problem we're talking about here.
I believe I can make it. I know I can.
Let's see what he's up to now.
Things have been going great since being on Shark Tank. Before Shark Tank, I sold $75,000 worth of product, but it took about a year and a half. Since being on Shark Tank, in about 3 months, I sold $75,000 worth of product. Could have sold a lot more, but I actually ran out.
Hey, Donnie, welcome to DZ.
I've solved that problem by signing a licensing deal with a company in Des Moines, Iowa, called DZ, and we're going to be marketing, manufacturing, and distributing Invisirac.
Here we have some inventory.
Hey, this is awesome. I currently have hundreds of people on a waiting list, and as soon as DZ gets production ramped up, I believe the sky's the limit.
Well, Donnie, that's the first one off the line. What do you think?
It's great. Even though I didn't get a deal on Shark Tank, it's pretty overwhelming to see that the product that I invented in my garage now in a manufacturing facility being produced by lots of American workers. It's exciting.
I'm Yen. And I'm Peter. We're brothers from Austin, Texas. And we started the sushi revolution. How do you roll? Great combination. You got it. Coming right up. I'm the CEO of the company. I deal with all the business stuff. And I'm the COO. I'm on the creative side, and I came up with the menu. Everything good? Yes? Well, we both grew up in the restaurant business. Our parents had several Chinese restaurants, so at the tender age of 8 and 9, we both started working in our parents' shop. The restaurant business is in our blood, it's in our veins. It's just what we know. What can I get for you, sir?
I'd love to have that slammed salmon.
Slam and salmon, you got it. Together, we've created a sushi experience that's never been done before.
Can you add cucumber to that? The artichoke?
We've allowed the customer to become the chef. So our customers get to choose everything, from the type of wrap they want to use, to the rice they want to use, the veggies, the proteins, the sauces, the toppings, and nobody is doing what we're doing today. Getting an investment from the Sharks is critical at this stage of where we are as a company. I believe our business model is going to be the next great thing in ethnic food. And with the Sharks investments, we're going to be able to explode this concept. Hello, Sharks. My name is Yan Young. And I'm his younger brother, Peter Young. Our business is How Do You Roll?
We are seeking $1 million for 12% of our company.
How Do You Roll is a fast casual restaurant where you can get sushi rolls made to order just the way you like it.
Before we came onto the scene, if you wanted sushi, you really only had two choices. Option number one was to go to a fancy sit-down sushi restaurant where you had to dress right, you had to smell right, you had to like techno music, and this can be fun occasionally if you want to spend more money than you actually have trying to impress people you really don't like. So that leaves you with your second option. You go down to the local grocery store, you get a pre-made roll made fresh daily, you just don't know which day of the week it was actually made. The quality is just subpar.
And because of Jen's horrible experience, we started the sushi revolution 3 years ago with just one location in Austin, Texas. We've taken the same food quality you get at a high-end restaurant and paired it with the convenience of the grocery store. Unpretentious, good food in a fast casual environment.
So we want you to experience this for yourself. So Barbara, we would like to actually invite you up so that you can create your own sushi roll.
All right, Barbara, whenever you go to How Do You Roll, first thing you want to do is pick out what kind of wrap you like. We have seaweed wrap and we have soy wrap.
I'll take the soy wrap.
So, good choice. And what you get to do is pick out your protein. We have crab stick, chicken, salmon, tuna.
I'll take the tuna.
Okay, and we also have proprietary sauces. Okay, do you like spicy, sweet?
A little spicy.
A little spicy. Our best seller is the spicy mayo.
I'll take
and I'll
it.
go ahead and put that on there. You can have a seat and I'll bring that right out to you.
Sharks, do not fear. We have food for you too. You're going to get to sample our other side of the menu, which is our featured rolls.
He's making it right there.
He's making it right now.
Thank you, Ian.
You bet. Damon, thank you. Enjoy.
Thank you, sir.
There you go.
Good sushi. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hurry, hurry.
Barbara, this is your custom roll. Here you
How
go.
nice is this?
Yeah.
Very good. This is very good.
So here's our question. Who wants to roll with us?
Ian, how did you get started in this?
You know, it's funny, we both grew up in the restaurant business. I actually said, I'm never going to be in the restaurant business again. I'm never going to work with family because I had to work with my parents growing up. 14 years later, here I am standing next to my brother.
Tell us about the economics of the business.
Absolutely. So we started franchising 2.5 years ago. We have sold 40 total. We've gotten 15 of them open. 2 of them are corporate stores. So the first 2 stores are our own. We opened the first 2. Since then, we've been focusing on franchising.
Got it. And the franchisees, how long has the longest one been open?
One has been open for right at about a year.
And how are they doing? What are the economics of their business?
So far, so good, knock on wood.
Are they profitable?
They are.
What's the average bill in a sit-down restaurant?
Roughly, it's around $10 to $12.
Sushi's good? Let's talk money.
Yeah,
You're offering me 12% of the corporate entity
correct.
that owns all the franchise flows for $1 million.
That is correct.
So what is this year's cash flow going to look like?
Just on royalties, it's $250,000 a year.
Wow. What are your sales in the corporate store?
One is running 600-something thousand, and the other one is running 400,000.
I would like to ask, I'm going to buy a franchise. Tell me what I have to pay you.
Okay, so the all-in cost of the franchise, including the $20,000 in franchise fee, the building out of the stores, buying the equipment, $270,000, $300,000 all in.
So now they're in business, but what happens after that? You get a percentage of what they sell.
That is correct.
What's your royalty rate?
Our royalty rate is 7%.
What are the compliance systems you have to make sure you're getting paid?
We suck it right out of their checking account every week.
So you mean, in other words, they have to set up a corporate
That is
account?
correct.
Guys, let me jump first. I like the idea, I like the concept, but that's a brutally competitive area. I don't want to be in the sushi business, so I'm out.
I'm looking at it from a different perspective. I believe it's very well managed. I think your presentation is excellent. And you have the right combinations, a chef guy with the finance guy. That's perfect. The valuation is rich.
It is probably a little bit high. We have had a letter of intent sent to us to buy 75% of the company. And that valuation came in at 6.6.
Ah. Are you going to do that deal?
I don't think so.
I don't think you
Yeah,
should.
the reason why is because, number one, I don't want to lose that much of the company. Really, honestly, with the opening of 4 or 5 more stores, our royalties will get us to
Where's your
profitability.
geography right now? Are they all in Texas?
No, they are in California, Marina Del Rey. We have one in Phoenix, Arizona, Tucson, Arizona.
I got to tell you, man, you started a business a few years ago, and someone's offering you $6.6 million in cash, be a multimillionaire overnight, and you're just talking about turning it down like that. Power to you, because I got to tell you, the first time somebody offered me $1 million, it took me weeks to say no. I wanted to grab that check and run.
Okay, so guys, the profit that you make in food is in appetizers, liquor and or beverages, and desserts. There's no money in this, and you're selling fish, fresh fish. I think that the margin's going to be too low. I'm out.
Okay. Great presentation. More importantly, great food. I can't help you with the operation. I don't understand this particular food model. You're running a great great business.
Thank you.
I'll bring all my buddies. We'll spend a lot of money.
Okay, thank you.
But we're not going to spend $1 million to invest today. I'm out.
You have 15 locations in 2.5 years.
That is correct.
Amazing.
Thank you.
I have recently gotten involved in 2 different food franchises, and I'm quickly learning how complicated it is.
It can
So I have great respect for where you came from and how far you got.
Thank you.
But I mistrust it. I think your presentation is so buttoned up, and for my liking, a little too buttoned up. So I'm going to trust my gut on this. I'm out.
Okay.
I like your business. I like you guys.
Thank you.
So I'll make you an offer. I'll give you $1 million.
Whoa! Wow.
But I want 22% of the business. And there's one caveat.
Four sharks are out, and Peter and Yen have an offer on the table.
I'll give you $1 million.
Whoa! Wow.
But I want 22% of the business. There's one caveat. I want a monthly distribution prorated to the owners. In other words, the partners, obviously you are the majors, we get a check every month from the free cash that's coming from franchisees. Percentage we can negotiate in the future. That's the only request I have, and you get $1 million.
So you're giving them a value of $5 million on the business.
Less than.
Less than $5 million. And on top of that, he's getting a check every month.
Well, guys, I want to tell you something. I bring a lot of value to the table here. I know this space, not sushi rolling, but franchise and economics of investing in this. I'll force some disciplines on you that you'll thank me for 5 years from now.
Can you elaborate a little bit about what disciplines you might be alluding to?
All I'm saying is the only covenant I'm putting in place is to make you more money monthly. I am going to sit down with you and negotiate what portion of the free cash flow that comes from the royalty stream goes into your pocket every month.
So it goes into you guys
Listen to what he just said.
It goes into you collectively.
Listen to what he just said.
It goes into you collectively.
No, listen to what he just said. He said, not only is going to undervalue your valuation versus the offer you. On top of that, he's taking cash out of the business up front.
Mark didn't think of
But
this
he's taking
structure.
cash out with you.
That's correct.
It was so prorated.
But Kevin, why would they have a firm offer for their business at 6.6, and in their wildest sake-instilled nightmare,
here's what's great about it. It actually
$5
doesn't matter what you think. I couldn't care less. It's what they think that matters. I made you an offer. It's very simple. I'll be your partner. I'm willing to give you $1 million for 22% of the company. It's your vision. You still control it. You don't have to give up control. I don't want control. I just want a return on my investment. Is that too much to ask? I don't think so.
Are you willing to come down on your equity portion to 15%?
I would meet you in the middle.
Okay. So you do it at 20%, roughly?
Are you not curious as to how much he wants to take out of that business monthly? He has to have some number in his head.
No, I don't.
To leave that open-ended?
Because you are actually getting the lion's share of what comes out.
That's true. So I wasn't thinking about that. I was thinking that, even if we got crammed down with this offer, that we would still get some share of the distribution. So can we have a standing offer so we can discuss? Thank you.
Standing offer.
It's an aggressive valuation, Mr. O'Leary.
I like it.
So all you want to do is basically...
All he wants to do is protect his downside.
Exactly.
They're giving up their upside because they think they can get at least a 15% return on their cash because that's what their discount was and their discounted cash flow.
I don't need your help on this one, Mark. I figured this one out myself.
I'm not giving you help. I'm just saying.
The key with these guys is I think they really need the cash.
You want to punt?
I think so.
You want to punt?
Yeah. Okay. I think we have other opportunities out there.
Oh, here we go.
Before we answer, we just have a quick question. How are you going to help us with the real estate side, which has become very problematic for us?
There is no easy answer to that. Even when you have 400 locations, every new one is a paramount fight. There's no question about it.
Right.
Those are individual negotiations every single time. Now, you don't have a person doing your real estate right now, do you?
That is correct. I am doing it.
Yeah, but you can't afford one until you're past 50 locations. You just can't. You're going to have to do it.
Okay.
That's the answer.
That's fair, yeah.
Because you're still too small.
Right.
You're going to reduce your risk in some ways by growing a little slower, I think, whether you take me on or not as a partner.
Right.
If I were you, I'd take me on.
Okay. Peter, what do you want to do?
Okay. I mean, if you feel like that's the right
We'll take your offer.
Whoa.
Wow.
All right.
Kevin, I even started to believe that crap.
Thank you. Looking forward to
You
it.
sound like great offers.
Thank you so much.
Looking forward to working with you.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
You made
good
a
day.
deal with the devil.
We took Kevin's deal of $1 million because ultimately we felt like the strategic alliance with Kevin was going to far outweigh the other dollars.
Next into the tank is B. Arthur, whose business aims to bring some sanity into the world.
Hello, sharks. My name is B. Arthur, and yes, that is my real name. And I am the founder and CEO of Pretty Padded Room. I am asking $100,000 for 30% of my company. The practice of psychotherapy has been around for more than 100 years and has helped millions of people, but it doesn't have a really wonderful reputation. See, when most people think therapy, they imagine paying $200 to be trapped in a room with this guy.
How does that make you feel?
Creepy, right? So most of us tend to solve our problems the normal way, by confiding in a trusted friend.
Honey, you don't need him. You need margaritas.
Oh, yeah.
She knows you inside and out, and she's always there for you, but her advice isn't always the best. In order to make counseling more approachable and accessible, I felt we needed to provide the credentials of an experienced therapist with the comfort and ease of an old friend. So I broke all barriers and created Pretty Padded Room, a nice place to go crazy. Pretty Padded Room provides online therapy to women on their own time and in their own space. We connect users from all around the world with an all-female team of licensed therapists through video chat or digital diary for just a fraction of the price. As you can see, Pretty Padded Room has transformed traditional therapy, completely redefined the approach, and is now poised to dominate in this very important space. So, how did that pitch make you feel?
So B, I can go online and get a credible, licensed psychotherapist.
Yes.
What does it cost?
A trial session at $20 is a 30-minute session, and it's either through video chat or a digital diary.
And what are you paying the doctor?
It's a flat rate. So for $20, they get 16 of that. For $40, they get 30.
It raises the immediate question. If a therapist can't generate their own practice at $150 an hour, they'd be a discount therapist and they'd go to your deal because they're getting paid a whole lot less. So if I'm a good therapist, why would I do this?
I was actually trying to solve two problems with this business. I really did want to make therapy more approachable and, most importantly, affordable for the average consumer. Also, for new therapists who are just starting out, it's actually very difficult to just hang up a shingle and just automatically get clients like that.
Is this only for women?
We're women-oriented, but we have about 6% male membership, actually. It's a subscription-based service. There's 3 tiers of membership. $100 is 5 digital diary sessions, and that's when you can write into your therapist. It's an interactive journal. $150 is 4 30-minute sessions with video and 1 digital diary. At $200 is 4 45-minute sessions and 3 digital diaries.
When I use the digital diary to write to a therapist, am I doing that one-on-one? I'm basically emailing her, or am I going through your computer to do that?
It's through the site, and a lot of people appreciate that. It's a virtual office. I've been working on this for about 2.5 years. In our very first year, when we were offering free sessions, and I was still working my full-time job as a domestic violence counselor, we did about $7,500 in sales.
$7,500?
Yes.
What was your average session price so we get an idea of the number of sessions that people played for?
The first session was free, and in the first 3 months, about 600 people did sign up.
600 signed up, and then how many actually paid for sessions?
Originally, so our conversion rate has always been right around 40%. So people who try up, about 40% end up going on and signing up for memberships. The average customer stays on for about 3 to 6 months.
What do you on course to do this year?
$21,000.
But are you on target?
Yes. At this moment, we're halfway through our fiscal year.
But does it bother you, B, that after basically 3 years, right, you're talking about doing $20,000 in sales? I'm not even sure we're proving the concept here. I mean, that is absolutely nothing burger.
You've said that the average customer is 3 months?
3 to 6 months.
So what's the lifetime revenue value of the customers that you've had so far? Do you know?
The lifetime revenue.
So in other words, the average customer is online for 3 months. How much revenue are you typically collecting from that 3-month customer?
Between $300 and $500.
So your average...
$300 and $600.
I'm sorry?
$300 and $600, I'm sorry.
Okay, so that's a big range, so it's hard to get a feel.
See, something's not adding up for me. You have 600 people come into a session in the first year. If all the people from the first year converted into paid customers, you would be doing $60,000 a year under your minimum subscription.
Yes.
But you're doing $15,000. So the drop-off rate of people that use the product once and don't sign up is huge.
The numbers don't seem to add up. Robert's right.
You're basically in an e-commerce business. It happens to be your product, the psychotherapy counseling. It feels to me like you need a partner that can explain to me, because you don't seem to be able to do it, customer acquisition costs, margins, attrition, which Robert identified you have a huge attrition rate. In other words, people come, use it, and just go away.
That's not true at all.
Well,
I mean,
then
our
why you have
customers
no
are
sales?
addicted to the site. All of our business has been through word of mouth.
But you can't answer one of those questions. Think about it. If you,
Your numbers aren't adding up. I mean, they're just not.
I am a non-tech entrepreneur. My
That's your answer?
Non-tech is a whole lot different than non-numbers.
I understand that. I'm building this. The first 2 years, it's been extremely difficult. The learning curve is very steep, but I've learned so much. And my vision has been validated. People are in love with this site. It gets me high, the things that people say about this site, and I get to help people. I just need to get clear on the numbers.
You just said it right there. How can you come in here and say, I need to get clear on the numbers?
I thought I had a good basic understanding.
No, you were
of it.
terrible. Terrible.
Here's my spin. You have a great thing here, I think is creative in a fresh way. I think it even has a noble purpose.
Right.
But you did a terrible job fumbling through the numbers. But I have good news for you. I'm terrible at numbers. And I'm rich. All you really need here is to find the smartest finance person you know who has an understanding of technology and make them your partner. You do that, I have no doubt in my mind you're going to have a great business. But I'm sure not going to invest in you today with that giant question mark over the numbers. I'm sad to say I'm out.
Oh, I kind of felt like, okay.
Barbara is wrong. There are key metrics to every business that you have to know. You can't subcontract that. No matter if you hire an accountant or not, there are key numbers in your business. When you have ignorance, you're not defensible. You can't fight back when you're ignorant about your numbers. I'm out.
B, your vision's in place. You've gotten all the accolades of people who like your site. You've got to learn the language of business. Otherwise, you got no shot. And you've got an opportunity here. Don't blow it. But I'm out.
So, B, you obviously are doing what you love and you have a passion. But it's scary, the problem you're having with numbers here. These numbers do not add up. I'm out.
Well, thank you. I do appreciate that.
I think what's appropriate is a very simple story that I think you'll appreciate. There's an island right off the coast of South Africa where the largest population of sardines exists. Seals love sardines. Hundreds of thousands of them sit on an island, just bare rock, nothing to eat. They look at the sardines. After about 7 days, they start to starve. But they know if they go in the water, the great white sharks will eat them alive. Somebody has to go in the water from the seals to sacrifice their lives so that the others can live eating the sardines. It's the one that's starving the most that goes in first, followed by maybe a few thousand more. The ones that sacrificed their lives did it for a purpose, so the DNA of the ones that live can go on. So, B, do you know who you are in this story? You're the first seal that goes in the water. The purpose was that others will never come in here again without their numbers. They will learn from the blood in the waters that you've provided. I'm out.
Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Don't go swimming. Let that be a lesson.
She's smart. She'll figure it out.
I'm here representing my business, and I really, really resent having anybody call my business or my project or anything that I've worked this hard on horrible. It isn't.
I'm TJ.
I'm Jaden. I'm Emily. I'm Kate. I'm Paige. I'm Bryson. And we're the Inventioneers.
Well, the name says it all. We're inventors. Guys, working. We created the Inventioneers 8 years ago with the goal of changing the world through our inventions.
When we're not inventing, we're just regular kids. We ride bikes, play soccer, do homework together. We're just best friends. We've invented a solution to one of the biggest problems facing drivers today, distracted driving. 3, 2, 1, hey!
Right now, our invention is just a prototype. We want to get it out there into the public as soon as possible, and that's why we need the sharks.
If we don't get a deal with the sharks, then the world will miss out on one of the most amazing products to ever hit the streets. 1, 2, 3, go Inventioneers!
My name is Bryson. I'm here with TJ, Paige, Jaden, Emily, and Kate. We're 6 inventors ages 12 to 18
Today we're looking for $100,000 in exchange for 15% of our company.
Sharks, as parents, you unfortunately know that this is a very common occurrence among teen drivers. Teens think they can multitask and drive safely, but they're faced with distractions like cell phones, makeup, eating, drinking, and fooling around with friends.
No way.
Now, Sharks, please join our teen driver and imagine you are driving down the freeway. Put your hands up at 9 and 3. Now close your eyes. 1, 2, 3, 4. In those 4 seconds, our teen driver traveled the length of a football field. Thankfully, these kids are okay, but 18 teenagers die every day in the U.S. from car crashes. The #1 cause, you guessed it, distracted driving.
We wanted to make a difference in the world by solving this problem. So, ta-da! We created the Smart Wheel.
We realized that most distractions require drivers to take one or both hands off the wheel. So we thought, why not create a product that would alert drivers when they make that mistake? And that's what the Smart Wheel does.
The Smart Wheel's proprietary technology tracks driver's hand position and alerts the driver through red lights and a tone if it detects one of 3 unsafe hand positions. First is no hands on the wheel. That's obviously unsafe. Second, one hand off the wheel is another unsafe hand position because it's a good indication that the driver is distracted. And third is 2 hands together, which is a common texting position. The Smart Wheel then records the events and can alert third parties such as parents.
Today we're looking for your help to get our business off the ground so that we can save lives and you can make money.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Guys, to get it rolling, is it a prototype or is it a product right now?
It's a prototype right now.
The first thing we're going to do with the $100,000 is take approximately $75,000 of it and complete what we call the final industrial design for manufacturing. We'll then use the remainder to start our first production run.
How are you going to sell it?
We plan on selling it on the internet. We are open to going into the big box stores eventually.
And for how much?
So we're planning on retailing the Smart Wheel for $200. For cost to make it, we have professional estimates that say $50.
Let me ask you a question. You showed us all the activities that teens shouldn't be doing. How does the device actually stop them from doing that? It doesn't. It just records it. You don't see a problem with that? And let me suggest a modification. Let's say they're sitting there, they take a hand off the wheel, they get a 120-volt shot. Maybe that's going to work. But it's not stopping anybody from doing all of these bad things. It's just recording the event.
Guys, have you demonstrated anywhere or put it in use for trials or anything like that?
Actually, one of the first things we did, too, once we came up with the idea, was to do a pilot study. You want to talk more about that, Brady?
At that pilot study, 90% of the participants...
You want to tell them where we did it?
At MIT. 90% of the participants said that the Smart Wheel would be effective at changing the driver's unsafe behavior.
We had an order from a very high-ranking government official. You want me to tell you who he is?
Sure.
How about President Obama? We actually were invited to the White House to present to him, and he loved the Smart Wheel so much that he wants one for his daughters when they're old enough to drive.
Wow.
I would love to be part of this. But honestly, the challenge is that I know absolutely nothing about this space. I know manufacturing, but I don't know electronic manufacturing. I can't offer you any value. I'm out.
I'm picturing myself introducing this to my 17-year-old son. One pitch is, hey, this is going to help you drive safe, and we're going to get a report if you take your hands off the wheel. That thing ain't going on in that car. If it's going on, it's going to come off quickly. I think you've gone too far with the product. I think you have to eliminate the report back to the parent.
But if we don't have the reporting, then there's no incentive for the teen to actually work with the light.
No, you know what? I don't agree with you. I think teenagers do want to be safe, but they don't want their mom and their father looking over their shoulder all the time. They want to get away.
But then I do want to bring up the numbers from our surveys that, you know, 85% of them said that teens agree the teens should use a Smart Wheel, and
I'm not convinced about.
Here's my take on this. You've achieved a whole lot putting this whole thing together. You've taken an idea and gone all the way to the White House. That's cool. Now, if you only had a good idea, just think what you'd be doing. You will one day come up with a good product that I can invest in. And when that day comes, you're invited back through those doors and I will write you a check. But today, no. I'm out.
Three sharks are out. To get a deal, the Inventioneers need an offer from Robert or Mark.
Here's where I'm at. I love cars. I race cars. I know all the car company guys. And most importantly, I have a 16-year-old daughter just started to drive. I can't believe this isn't an option within an existing car. Where I'm struggling a little bit is, I think you're missing the business that you're in. You think you're in the smart wheel business, but the name of your company or you guys is the Inventioneers. The smart wheel is simply a product that you've invented. The thing to do with a great invention is now go and sell it to somebody. I think trying to manufacture it and doing all this other stuff is just crazy.
We did get another offer to do a pilot study. We were actually able to talk with the U.S. Secretary of Transportation, Ray LaHood. He not only endorsed the smart wheel, but he also offered to set us up for a pilot study on mass transit vehicles.
So what was the follow-up to that?
Follow-up is we need more smart wheels to test it with.
Here's what I'm willing to do. I'll give you the $100,000 for 30%, contingent on taking it to a car company and them being interested in moving forward with a licensing deal.
Is anyone willing to go in on that deal?
What am I, chopped liver?
No, we are on the edge of our seats here.
Robert, I'll go with you 50-50 if you take out the contingency on the car companies. Because I think once we go visit the car companies and we've talked to them not just about driver training for kids, but also the commercial applications, we have the opportunity to pivot.
My only issue is TJ's vision is to take the entire 100,000 manufacturer. I don't want to do that.
Okay, so TJ, would you be open to, once we discuss everything, if the best course of action is not necessarily to take that further along, but talk to the car companies, let them help us design it so we don't have to spend all that money, so we have a little dry powder left to evolve and pivot.
Yeah.
All right. Mark and I will give you $100,000 for 30%. What do you say?
No contingency?
No contingency.
That's a deal.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Nice job. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. I love cars. This is so cool.
Oh, yeah.
We're investing in these kids. They're super smart. They're going to do smart things. They're going to figure it out.
I agree with you. They're fantastic. But I have to also tell you, I love the product.
James crying. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it actually happened.
The Sharks actually treated us like adults and they valued our ideas, and it's great to see someone else appreciate the smart wheel as much as we do.
Next time on Shark Tank.
You are out of your minds.
You let greed cloud your vision.
I know business, I really do.
That's $1,400.
Because it's very expensive.
Exactly. That's what that price is. Shucky ducky quack quack.
In some ways, you have the perfect business.
We're at our tipping point.
You have any sales? Sales?
They're not worth $3 million?
Oh, you did catch that.
He doesn't understand the cycle of cash.
You've got to change the game.
I don't agree with Mark. They won't survive that way.
What really happened aboard the cruise ship stranded at sea for 8 days? 2020 starts right now.